Everybody wants to shine, but are you willing to do the walk? Are you willing to go through the dark and get to the other side? Are you willing to do the work in regards to being the best version of yourself? Let me make this actually clear. If you've ever met someone whose life screams perseverance, purpose, someone who's been knocked down by life again and again, but refused to stay down, who turned homelessness into hope and it turned pain into purpose, that man is Herbert Morris. And I'm telling you right now, Herb, you got to hear his story because I met Herbert a few years ago in November 2023 through Richard Smith Counseling Services. And he didn't show up with a perfect light like none of us do. He showed up with a fighting spirit. He showed up with broken but hungry. He showed and watched, I've watched him with transformation, not just overnight, over time. And Herbert is on the front lines of the Detroit Rescue Mission, the ministry, serving the very street once he served on. That he's once reminded that he's never going to forget, and he's living proof that God can still use you when the world counts you out. This isn't like a highlight reel of this is a real conversation with someone that actually has been through perseverance. And three powerful takeaways we're going to actually get from today's conversation. Mindset is everything. You'll see how Herbert built his life from inside out. Number two, the pain can actually transform you. Detroit homelessness to giving a mission. And number three, you can win. It's a choice. And if you still rise, and if you ever felt like the odds were against you, if you ever felt like you're forgotten, if you ever felt like you were overlooked and just wanted to give up, this is the conversation for you. Because from perseverance to purpose, and I remember in November 2023 walking virtually back into the rooms of Smith Counseling Centers and seeing Herb in regards to walking in as well. And we were just reflecting on that before we got back on stage. But seeing who he is now, 21 months later, and who he is before, you're in for a treat. Herbert Morris, get in here, Herb. And seriously, thank you so much for saying yes to the virtual random conversations with Adrian Mays for my 46 leading up to my birthday. I appreciate you, my friend. Welcome. What up, though, Herb?
Well, thank you, and thank you for having me.
It's such a blessing to have you here, my friend. Even before I jump into any questions, your story it moves me, and I feel so blessed for you to be here because again, you're the definition of perseverance. Walk me through kind of where you've been, where you are now, and kind of where you're going. But just kind of give us a little history about your background.
Well, excuse me. I grew up in Battle Creek, Michigan, small town, west of here, and really small. And I had it good, but I was a hard head young man. I was off into different stuff and got in some trouble. And before I know it, I made a mistake and committed a crime. But it didn't. To me, it didn't constitute me having to serve 16 years. But neither here or there. That's what they thought. So I did
And
it.
what was the crime, Herb?
It was armed robbery,
Okay,
but I didn't have no. I just they made them feel that I had one,
armed robbery without a gun.
but there's no such thing as that. It's armed robbery
I'm just
or
trying to understand with the armed robbery.
or unarmed robbery. They didn't see no gun. They didn't see nothing. It was my hand was up under my shirt, and they didn't know nothing. All they knew was what I told them. Yeah. So I did that. I went to prison. And during my stay in prison, I made up my mind then that I'm not going to let this life of destitute, whatever you want to call it, drag me down. So I went back to school while I was in there, and I got my bachelor's degree, and I majored in psychology and sociology. And I just every day, just like I was telling you earlier, every day the light at the end of the tunnel got a little bit bigger and gave me because at first when I went in there, I didn't my understanding was zero.
Mm.
I didn't take no stuff. And like right now, I'm a small guy to what I was then. I was like 260, but I was kind of built up. And I wasn't taking no or nothing from nobody. But like I said, the light at the end of the tunnel got bigger, and I just started calming down and started reaching for that light at the end of the tunnel.
Okay. Okay. Now, how did you actually walk through to Smith Counseling Center with Richard Smith? Like, how did
Well,
that process even happen?
when I went to court when I got my third, I went to court. Well, I don't know who. What's Barry Resnick? That was the
Hmm.
lawyer, and they referred me to him for my proceedings, and Mr. Resnick in turn referred me to Dick Constantine.
Okay. And so how did has it made an impact in regards to your transformation? And we're going to talk about that as well. But how impactful was it just I just got off with Mike. It was such an
Yeah,
amazing conversation. So Dick and Mike, in regards to Smith Counseling Centers, how did that help you in regards to kind of leading you to the right and then leading you to me?
yeah. Well, it helped me in a few ways. First of all, it helped me structure my life and to know that I have to have a relapse prevention plan. To know that I have to set boundaries in my life, because if you don't set boundaries in your life, you're not living happily. To live happily, so you got to, in essence, you got to train the people around you how to treat you.
Hmm.
Otherwise, it's not going to happen. And when I started taking on that, and I got with his Mike, his, I don't know, I can't say, his partner or whatever, in the clinic, and then me and him did one-on-ones. That was it. I did one-on-ones with him for about, I don't know, maybe 4 months.
Hmm.
Then right after the one-on-ones, I did group. From then on, I just said, this is what I'm gonna do. It's better, 100% better than AA, NA, and all that old stuff. I don't went to them groups and come out and they out there selling drugs or drinking. Excuse me. Some of them do that in the meeting, but go in the bathroom.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
I found Dick's Constant, and I said, this is where I'm gonna be, and I've been there for 5 years. And in November it'll be 5 years.
Oh, that's amazing, my friend.
Yeah.
And so I know you work, and we talked a little bit about homelessness. Walk me through how that is even a part of your story.
Well, I was homeless, and this is
Can I
back.
ask how you got there though? How did you get to
Well,
being
what
homeless?
happened when I came out of prison? I told my wife, I said, "Look, I need to change my uh, what is my surroundings."
Hmm.
So instead of paroling home, I parole home to Battle Creek. I parole to the program at the Detroit Rescue Mission Ministries that helps what they call it when you come out of prison and go in. Uh, they just help everybody.
Hmm.
So I
Hmm.
got into their program and I ain't looked back since.
Mm. And so when you got into their program at Detroit Rescue Mission or Ministries, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so now that you're on the other side of it, because I mean I know you have, things have changed.
Mm-hmm.
That loyalty you have, how do you have that loyalty in regards to helping others that have been walked through your shoes? Like, how did you even?
Because when I was around there walking on my ankles, I didn't know nobody.
Mhm.
I wasn't from Detroit. I have a sister that lives out in, then she lives out in West Bloomfield. But
Okay.
I didn't know nobody, and I wasn't anxious to get familiar with too many people because I done heard a lot of stories, and I wasn't buying none of that. So it just, I was there, and then they seen something in me. Well, the
Mhm.
first day they seen something in me because they said, "Well, we're not gonna send you to the one area. You going on the fourth floor with the guys that we trying to work with."
Mhm.
So I went on the fourth floor, and I was there about maybe a month or so, and then the one of the big shots came to me and said, "You know what, Mr. Morris, you think you can help me get these files and some stuff straight? We got the what they call it, the car inspection coming up." I
Mhm.
said, yeah, I might can do that. I said it because I wanted to not leave. Because back then they used to make in the shelter, they used to make you leave
Mhm.
9 o'clock in the morning. But if you was working or doing something in the building, they let you stay.
Okay.
So I did it with ulterior motives.
Right, right,
And
right,
I got and I got in there and he showed me what he wanted me to do. And he didn't think it was going to be possible, but we don't go all the way into it, but I ended up saving their MPRI program. That's a program that they used to call it for returning citizens. And
Mhm.
I saved the NPR program from being closed. That was the only one left in Detroit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but I got all the information set. I saved it, and after that, he came to me. He said, "You know what? You want a real job?" Back then it wasn't paying much, but it was a 40-hour a week job. So of course I want a real job. So
Mhm. Mhm.
they hired me from there as resident specialist. Excuse me. I came in as resident specialist. I think I worked 4 years as resident specialist, and I got promoted to counselor, case manager.
Okay.
I
Mhm.
worked 3.5, close to 4 years as counselor. Then they promoted me up to facility supervisor, and then I got promoted from there to director of the Third Street facility.
So, my friend, in regards to some of the things those promotions sound like amazing in regards to, how people get accolades. How did
Mm-hmm.
that make you feel in regards to being promoted within something that saved your life
It
and
made
just
me
helping other people?
it made me feel good, and it made me want to help others do the
Right.
same thing. Because a lot of the guys that come through there, I used to see myself in them.
Mhm.
And I talk to them, and then I tell them my story. And they said, "No, man, you ain't did it." And I used to always keep my old prison card with me. Mike might still have his.
Mhm.
I kept it, and I would show it to him. He said, "Oh man, how you doing?" I said, "You got to want to do something with your life. You want to
Mm.
do something with your life. You apply yourself. You will do something with your life."
What kind of mindset, Herb, in regards to getting through 16 years of something that we're just gonna pause. So, how did you get through that mentally, and even come out and want to make a change and do things with this Detroit Rescue Mission that you did?
Well, I can probably be honest and say the first 2 years I was blessed by God because I probably should have been shanked, as they call it, because I
Mhm.
wasn't I wasn't a very happy camper, and you didn't want to cross my path, because I didn't care.
Right,
I
right.
did not care about nothing. But then after I got it so far,
Mhm.
and I accepted, matter of fact, I accepted Christ in my life then too, and He told me, just hold on, it's gonna be
Mm.
all right.
Mhm. And so, in regards to being faith and having belief, when I walked through back, or like I said, virtually, I keep saying walked, but when I virtually clicked the button to come back into Smith Counseling Centers in November of 2023, I'll never forget that the story you shared in regards to your health.
Yeah.
Walk me through how your mindset changed from, but I don't even want to joke about it, but digging a hole in the dirt to
Yeah, yeah.
fighting
Well,
for
well,
change
it was
of
a
where
lot of
you
stuff,
are. Yeah.
going on there. Uh, I got diagnosed with cancer.
Mhm.
I got my third DUI. I ended up getting a year in the county jail 4 months later, and after I came home, uh, they diagnosed me further with kidney failure. So right now I'm living with cancer and kidney failure. But I went on chemo. I think you might can tell me. I went on chemo. Uh, I don't know. I think it was like 9 months, and it was doing something, but it wasn't doing what it should, in the long run. So they asked me, did I want to do this trial program or therapy, which
Okay.
was called CAR T or T cell therapy, where they take some stuff out you, pump it up to be $1 million man cells, and then they put it back in you. First couple of weeks you feel really bad, but after that your condition slowly but surely uh, builds back up, and here I am now. I'm feeling much better because for a while there, I didn't think I was gonna make it, and they told me I wouldn't have been here if I wouldn't have taken that therapy because chemo wasn't doing it anymore.
Right.
The cancer was too strong for the chemotherapy, and I wasn't going to do radiation.
You said no to the radiation.
Nothing. Mm-mm.
And so what was the reasoning for that? That what is radiation hard on you? Because I know.
It's harder on you, and plus I seen another guy. He was Papacino. He was a real friend of mine. He went through radiation,
Mhm.
and it really tore him down. It tore him down so much. He was always regurgitating. Couldn't, And I said, I can't. I just can't see myself going through that. What he went through, I can't see that.
Everybody has a why, Herb, and a reason. It might not be clear, but what's your why for fighting every day, for going through all the treatments and things of just a second chance to get things done? What why do you have that keeps and drives you?
Because I love my life now.
Hmm.
Uh, I want to. Each day I pray to God and I ask Him, "What is His good will and purpose in my life going forward?" And I want to help people that are in my situation move forward in their life. It makes me feel good when guys come back and they didn't got themselves together, got them a little car, got their apartment, and they come back just to shake my hand. Some of them come back to want to give me money. I don't want no money. Just take care of your business.
Even I remember you telling us a story around COVID time, and
Yeah,
you raised your hand to put this hazmat suit on and to be able to drive and help people. Even just to get to different locations. What kind of mindset do you think that you have, and how important is helping others in your journey? Just kind of how you described as
because that's
well.
what I was doing at that time, helping others to seek
But
a
you didn't have
refuge.
any fear for yourself, like
I had
everyone's
fear,
telling the
but
world.
I had the equipment.
Right, 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 right.
I had the equipment,
Uh-huh.
and I would always change. I would do what I had to do before I come home, so I wouldn't put my wife in danger. So
Mhm.
I had the equipment. All I had to do was do what they tell me. When they get on the bus, go to the back,
Right,
sit
right.
there and stay there until I get to Henry Ford, and I'll go out and I'll let you out.
Mhm.
And it went just fine. But I did it maybe 3 weeks, and it wasn't something God told me, okay, you didn't did what you supposed to do. Let somebody else do it.
I know that's right.
Because didn't nobody want to do it. The young boys, nobody wanted to drive those people to the center where you can recuperate.
Right.
Yeah. So
My friend, how important would you say that community and support when you're trying to get through addiction? Because it's one of those things like I was sharing with you offline as well. I love my family. I love them
yeah,
to death. But when you have people that have gone through the same things that you've gone through, how important is it like therapy and taking steps to be surrounded by people that are maybe in the same situation to help you to go to the next steps?
it's very important because if you don't have that, you're not gonna make it.
Right.
If you don't have community, you don't have family or social support, you're not gonna make it. You're gonna fall right back down that same drain. It might be today, it might be next week, it might be next month, but you're gonna fall back down. You're gonna do it because you need that.
When you have those moments of pain and struggles, and how do you get through those fears of not being whatever where you're supposed to be? Like, how do you face fear? I guess is a better and clearer
Well,
question.
I don't have fear no more because I know where I'm at now is where I'm supposed to be.
Mm,
This is where God put me, and that's why I'm sticking and stand. I'm not doing nothing until I can't. If I can't get up them stairs and go in the building, then it's over with. Because they've been and told me you need to retire.
mhm.
You didn't get older. Like I said, I'm 71 years old. So you done got older. You this cancer and this stuff, this is beating you down, and it was beating me down. I said, I'm gonna do what I got to do. I got a mission. I can't say this mission. This is God's goodwill and purpose in my life, and that's what I'm doing.
Now tell me this, and I know you talked about this in group. If you could have the opportunity to have your own center, what would that center look like? What would the Herbert Morris Center look like, even if we're just
It
for
wouldn't be
play?
no it wouldn't be no big, huge like the one I was running with like 300 people.
Uh-huh.
It wouldn't be no big, huge one. I'd like to have one maybe 50 guys. You
Okay.
know, I don't want to trust the women and men together because they get a little antsy at times.
Get a little excited.
Yeah. So I would rather have about 50 guys,
Mhm.
and or if I didn't have 50 guys, it'd be 50 women with children. But it can't be over if they got 5 kids. Then that cuts down on. I want the whole total thing to be 50. That's enough.
Mhm. Mhm.
That's enough, and concentrate on getting them housing, getting the documents straight. That's man. Everybody homeless they don't have their vital documents, social security card. A lot of them don't have food stamps and insurance because sad to say they don't know how to get it.
Right.
They need to have somebody to show them how to get it. They need to have some. If they don't, you got to write it down on a piece of paper. I done did it at the office on the computer for number of people.
Mhm.
You know, but they got if they knew how to get the resource and get them, and don't abuse them, then they can do the same thing. They can overcome their situations.
If you had to name 3 services that at the homeless center that, that help you transform and actually change your life, besides, of course, we know meals always help, having a
Hmm.
clean bed and
Hmm.
that type of thing. Was there something 3 things that stood out that, that these things help me not only stay and
Yeah,
be better because you're not like you said, you were offered other opportunities to go
yeah,
somewhere else.
yeah.
But what stood out for you that really helped you say, "You know what? I can do this."
Well, the first time, at the beginning, I had a pretty good counselor.
Mhm, okay,
Had a pretty good counselor. He kind of stuck to me, and he was trying his best to help me. And the rest of his soul, he gone now, but had a pretty good counselor. And back then, the resources were more plentiful,
okay,
way plentiful. Now it's kind of scarce with the resources, but back then the resources were plentiful. And what else can I say stood out? That's about it. The counselor is what's going to help you. If you
okay.
got a counselor that don't care, that just bring you in the office, see you for 5 minutes till you get on,
Mhm.
you're not going. Okay, all right, bye. So yeah, my counselor, he brought out a lot of stuff in me. We went to church together. There
Okay.
was a little church around the corner. We used to go over there. The other guy, they call him Mr. Gaskin. He be teased 'cause every time you see him, he talking about here. We used to go go to meetings together, you
Uh-huh.
know. But I didn't. They were. I was an addict. Yeah, true enough. But they like the conventional NA and AA meetings.
Mhm.
They're fine. Some of them are, but I like the more personal setting, like at Smith's Counseling, because it's some stuff that I brought up in Smith's Counseling that I wouldn't have brought up in NA and AA,
Right.
because I didn't heard them go to the bathroom or go out in the hall. Hey, you hear what that joker said? He just a big old, no, I didn't like that.
How much does judgment play into your story? Because again, with having all these labels, right? 3 DUIs, homelessness, going to prison, having all of these different things that people can actually talk about you
Mm.
versus trying to help you. How did you fight through all of those labels and still try to be, like Mike tells us all the time, the best version of yourself?
I
How were you
just
able to kind of do that?
I just kept moving forward. At first the judgment was hurting me.
Hmm.
It made me feel it's no sense, it's no use. But each day when I pray and I say I need to continue on, He said, God would tell me, you have a purpose in life, and I want you to achieve that purpose. So continue, and that's what I did. So
You have to,
It don't bother me at all. No.
right. And me too. Like I'm the same way. Like people say things, I just kind of smile now, and
Yeah.
people get more upset that I smile because
Just like when I think you're gonna remember I got first diagnosed, and I was kind of bitter,
you were.
and I wasn't gonna do some things. I told him, well, forget this. Dig the hole. I'll lay down in it, and y'all can throw the dirt on me and forget about it because I'm
Yeah.
through with it, But here I am today, laughing at that and continuing on.
But it's that part that allowed you to you know you it's sometimes it's okay to communicate those things, right?
Mhm.
Because
You can't
that
hide it.
you can't hide it, and that moment stands out for me because, you were only one of the few African Americans in the group as well, because, we
Yeah,
relate. That's one of
yeah,
those things.
yeah.
But when we actually, when you stand up for yourself, and then now I see you, like,
Hmm.
even showing up and going through the treatments and the fights that you
Yeah.
have, it inspires me as well to that's why I'm so happy that you actually took this opportunity here today, Herb,
Yeah.
because
That's that resiliency.
yes.
And you feed off that resiliency and keep on going.
Now,
Before you know it, you've been to accomplish another task and
mhm.
headed to the next one.
But that's the crazy thing about how life works,
Yeah,
right? So when you were in those dark moments in your mindset and you had no one else around and like you said, that resiliency and those things to help you fight through,
hmm
did you have what was that relapse prevention plan? What does that look like for you to make sure you don't go backwards and kind of be comfortable? Got to get comfortable getting uncomfortable, right?
when I got really bad, I would contact my sponsor. I called him today out of the clear blue, and he was just, oh, hey, good to hear from you. I talked to my spiritual. I got a spiritual advisor at work. We really close. I talked to
Mhm.
my wife.
Mhm.
I ask sometimes, what am I doing something wrong? What's going on? I don't feel right. No, you're doing okay. You just, it's just, and you get that feedback from your support group or support network, and
Right.
it just builds you up.
But that and it allows you to not have to ask them or I actually know now that I put myself on the system. Like every day, just taking accountability of where I want to be. So
Yeah,
reading for 30 minutes when I still go to AA every day. I still go and of course do the counseling every week. So because I am who I am, everybody is different, right?
yeah,
I need control in regards to, and now God is giving me these tools and resources.
right.
How important is it to have some type of plan? Because when you are I am a alcoholism is my addiction.
Yeah,
So that was my crutch, the way that I was able to get through things. But now turning the leaf, you got to have a plan,
that's right.
right? So when you have that plan, how important too is like family in regards to just supporting you within it? How important is that?
It's very important for all of you. You got to have family support. You got to have support from your network of people around you. You got to have support from, if you're married, from your wife or your husband. Without that support, I can't say you're going to fail, but with the support, it makes it much easier for you to go with them obstacles, because the obstacles going to come. And with that support network around you, you can ask advice about how to navigate those obstacles.
Do you see a reason if there wasn't Smith counseling in your journey, how do you think things would have turned out for you?
It would have been about the same. Probably wouldn't have been with Smiths, but I would have found another, because I was getting tired of NA and AA.
Mhm.
Not
Mhm.
because the settings,
Right.
and it's, I can't say it's fake, because some people take it to heart, some
Right.
people don't. You got court ordered people in there, and they just make it bad. But I would have found another counseling center, and I would have been just fine.
I know that's right, but
Yeah,
that's the mindset that you have, Herb. I
yeah.
I, I love that. So, in regards to what's next, because cancer isn't the end of your story. You're
No,
you're going you're going through this, and
the
just
next
like
part is
everything else.
the next part is I'm gonna be glorifying God's name for taking it away from me.
Mm,
That's
I
right.
put it out there.
That's right.
So this new treatment that you have, has it been it's a new trial that they're testing, correct, with the T
Well,
cells?
it's been out like maybe 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your
It's
story is gonna be how you beat cancer.
yeah,
I know that's right.
they call it car 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 T cell
Uh-huh.
therapy.
Okay. And so even when I spoke with you yesterday, how does that make you feel when you go through that therapy? Like, how does your body, how do you
It
react
was
to
it
it and
was
how do you get through it?
it was the first couple of days was really bad. I didn't know if I was gonna make it through the first couple of days because they take cells out of you.
So when you say that, what do you mean when you say that? Because
I had
'cause my
a
father had
I,
some of this, but I don't think he
I
had
had
this.
an IV.
Hmm.
They took they took a certain amount of cells out of me, not just blood. They had to go through like a dialysis thing. They only took a certain amount like plasma, but they took T cells instead of the plasma. And then they take them T cells, they send them off, and they
Like in
man,
a test tube, when you say send it off.
it was about baggy, about like that much in the bottom of the baggie. They
Hmm.
send it or bag, not a baggie, but the little
Right, little sandwich bag.
send it
Right.
off to some uh, manufacturing place in Colorado, and they pump those cells up. They mighty cells. When they finish with them, they
Hmm.
have them for about a month. When they finish with them, they call them mighty cells, or you know, manufactured $6 million mans, and they put they put them back in you, and your body at first rejects it because it's foreign,
Right.
not what you used to having. It rejected it at first, but after 2 or 3 days, I had fevers and
Mm.
what else? Fevers, cramp. But after them first few days, I started getting better each day, each and every day.
So technology for you is definitely something to applaud, like how modernization of medicine and everything
Yeah, yeah,
has happened. Because that sounds like a like the Incredible Hulk. Like, you
yeah.
know what I'm saying? You send
And
it off.
yeah, it did it. I was skeptical, but I didn't have no other way nowhere else to turn.
So I know you've mentored people not only in the medical situation, in the homelessness situation. When you meet someone that might not have the mindset that's ready to give up, what are some words of wisdom or what do you share? What is the message that you actually share with individuals to help them through, to help them keep going?
Usually, when a person is ready to give up,
Hmm.
I've experienced what they're going through, and I share my problems or my past problem with them, and talk about how I got through it and how your life can change if you do this and you do that. Just stick with it, and it'll be better.
And then just are you there for them? And so like is there how like in the groups they give you the get the numbers and that kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah. Not I tried that a couple times,
Uh-huh.
and I could probably be a sponsor, but I'm not. I'm not for getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, going to no drug infested area to come get you
Right.
when you shouldn't have been there in the first place.
And so let's
Talk
talk
to
about it.
me before you go there.
Right. Give me a call when you're thinking about doing
Yeah, yeah,
it.
yeah.
How important is it, her, for you to, do things like this and sharing your story, going to therapy, just being honest with what you're going through? How important is that to help somebody else?
Because something I might have said today will click in somebody's mind and say, you know what? He's right. Maybe I can do it. And if they do it, praise God. I would love it. But I just hope I can touch somebody in any way where they can feel it and change their life and keep it moving.
When you look back at your life, do you think that, God is using you for this journey? Like,
Most
did
definitely.
he
Most
like
definitely. You ain't got to finish talking.
right, right, right. Is that right?
That's my purpose. He gave me that purpose to do, and that's what I'm gonna do until I just can't do it no more.
So even though I'm gonna make a joke, but even though you're from Battle Creek, you had on that Detroit Lions all grit.
Yeah,
So you take on the Detroit Lions mentality in regards to fighting through all the odds type
yeah,
thing. And that's what I see you and I love about you, my friend, that you just keep going and you help people and just see people for who they are in
right.
regards to their story and their journey. When one thing I did want to ask you in regards to when you're having those challenging moments and, just fear. You say you don't have fear, but
I have fear, but I know how to face it now.
now what do you do to face it?
I sit down, I pray, and I ask for courage and confidence to deal with it
And do you say that over and over again?
as many times as necessary.
And does it just pass or how does it work for you?
It just it makes me realize why, it helps me identify why I'm mad, because I got a second to think about it. And
Mhm.
then as I identify why this is going on or why I'm fearful, then I can bring up a situation where I can get out of it and put it behind me.
Come on, Herb, that's amazing. Because it all takes about a practice
Yeah.
and figuring out ways, your own unique way in order to get through things.
Hmm.
And I applaud you, like I said, and I'm scream from the mountaintops because of what you do and your purpose here, because the impact you've made on my life, I can't, you wouldn't even believe because
Yeah.
I see how you,
I'm glad.
the transformation in you. Like, how does your wife feel in regards to just the changes that you've done and been through in regards to even your mentality, your presence, your children?
Yeah. Well,
How,
she especially my children, but they all love it because I was too unpredictable before,
hmm
and as long as I got in control of things, and then see when those things happen, and you do that, you can fear don't just happen right then. It
right.
comes ahead of time, and you can always head it off at the pass if you know what to do.
Change. How are you impacting with change and how do you handle change? Because I could say something today, but if there's something better over here, are you open to the possibility, even with the T cell thing that you did for your health?
Hmm.
How do you tackle change and that being a part of your story?
You got to the change in my life. I had to just to be accepted to the change,
Mm,
you
hmm
know. And once I was accepted to the change, as long as it wasn't negative or harmful to me, I embraced the change and kept going.
And you make it sound so simple. You make it sound like
It's easy. You just got to do it.
right. Just do it like Nike,
Just
huh?
do it.
Just
Yeah.
but one thing it is about just doing it is consistency.
Yep.
And when you come, it's just like working out, like we just talked about with Mike earlier. If you go to the gym and think that if you just do one good workout and think that you're gonna be buff,
Yeah.
it doesn't work
Ain't
out
gonna
like
work
that.
like that.
No.
Yeah.
So when we talk about doing the work, like not just for you and loving yourself,
Hmm.
how important is it not just to show up, but to do the work, to put in the grease work in order to
It's
being.
very important because you don't do the work, you're not going to experience the change you're seeking. You won't
Now,
feel
do
it.
you, do you do anything type like educating or reading or anything like that in regards to your daily ritual?
Yeah, I do mine. They got what is that? The daily word. At
Mhm.
work, we got certain times of the week that we have Bible studies together.
Okay.
I got my Bible right here.
I
Right in
know
front
that's
of the,
right.
right in front of the computer, and I stay on it. And that's what helps me to move forward each day.
Come on, Herb. That's amazing. And I'm gonna try to keep it within the hour to give you your time as well because again, this random when I started to do this whole idea with the random virtual conversations, it's I think it's honestly selfishly for me too. but
Yeah,
but at the same time,
I'm getting a lot out of this myself. Yeah.
but the great thing is kind of owning who you are and taking accountability. But when you
Hmm.
think about your family, your faith, your fears, your finances, your fitness, all of that kind of encompasses what life looks like.
Yeah.
And so when you fight through each of these different things, you have where we are because we're exactly like you said, we're exactly where we're supposed to be today.
Hmm. Yeah.
And we just got to own that and be perfectly imperfect in God's eyes. And every
Own it.
day you get a little stronger.
Own it and be comfortable in it.
But how are you I say the phrase a lot too, being comfortable with being uncomfortable
Yeah,
because that unknown factor is so huge.
yeah.
When you see people out there that are making excuses, how do you handle that nowadays? I already how do you handle those people?
I still work with them to try to get them to change their mind. It's a
Okay.
lot. It's a lot of people in our facility that are
Mhm.
stuck in their own ways, but I still work with them, and I still try hard to get them to change their mind. Some days I might get donuts or something. I pass them out when they sitting up out there. I say, one day you can do this too. But
Mhm.
I don't give up. I just keep going.
You keep being the inspiration, her, because that's how change is going to happen. Inspiring and being the change. That's why I love the name of my company. It's called Being the Change.
Yeah.
So I want to jump into the top 8 because I've been breaking the rule. I want to keep people within an hour. So the fun part of the top 8 is the first question for you. If you could be any superhero, okay, any superhero in the world. I'm Flash, which I was a Delta, or I am a Delta, excuse me, and that's my line name is Flash. What superhero character would you be? It doesn't have to be a Marvel character. It could be any character that you like. What character would you be and why?
I don't know. I might would have to say Superman because of his abilities to make changes wherever he go. You know, wherever he go, he gonna make it happen.
Right, right.
Yeah,
You say you're going with Superman.
yeah,
I love it. Okay. Nope, that was a good one.
yeah,
Now, the second one I was going to ask you is in regards to where you're from. I know you mentioned that you are from Battle Creek, Michigan. Is that correct? And
yes.
where's home
Well,
now?
originally I'm from Chicago, Illinois,
Oh, you
but
from you from Chi-Town.
yeah, but I was like 7, 8, and my parents moved away because I was getting in too much trouble. So moved away, and we went to Battle Creek, and I stayed up in Battle Creek until I moved up here in maybe 2009 or 10, and then my wife came behind me.
Okay, okay. And then in Detroit is where you call home now?
Yeah,
Okay,
well,
nice.
Southfield. You can say Southfield.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
No worries. My mom is in Southfield too. Okay, and so the next question I have for you is in regards to travel. If you could travel to or the places that you have traveled, where was the favorite place that you traveled and why?
uh, I could say I went on that 7-day Caribbean cruise.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
I love that. It was just so relaxing, seeing different cultures and people. I didn't like the way they was trying to scam you when you get off the boat and stuff. But I really enjoyed that traveling on that boat.
Oh, no, now, which part of the boat did you like? Did you like the food or did you like the activities that were
It
on the
was too
boat?
much food. I love the
I know,
activity.
right?
It's too much eating. I couldn't stand it. And I just went on one here, but less than maybe a month ago.
Oh,
It
really?
was
So we're
it
the
was only a
Caribbean
small.
7 day?
No, it wasn't a 7 day because I got dialysis.
Right,
So
right.
it was like a 3 day. You
Okay.
know, you had a perfect day at Coco K.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
It's shoot. So how many so I did a cruise. I've done a couple. I'm not gonna lie. The food was it's over cumbersome,
yeah.
but I enjoy. I definitely enjoy the
Too
cruise.
much, too much seafood. I'm full. I didn't want no more shrimp, and for a long time.
Which brings me to the next question I have for you. My place was Toronto. I used to my cousin played professionally for the Toronto Raptors, and
Oh
so
yeah,
Chris Bosh was, he introduced me to the Toronto cultures. Like you can go to Spanish Town, you can go to
yeah.
Africa. That's where I
Yeah.
had sushi for the first time. That was real, and just
I ain't gonna try that.
you gotta try it, Herb. I mean, I used to think like that until you have to try it. I've even been to Japan. I like the Toronto version better.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
so, in regards to food, if there's one food that you can eat all the time, weight doesn't matter. It doesn't matter about any type of health concern. Mine used to be watermelon, but I think I'm gonna change it here soon.
I ain't got no. Mine is spaghetti and fried fish.
Now, what kind of fish though?
It
Cat.
all depends. And I don't like perch because it's got a smell. But just catfish, whitefish, orange. As long as it's fried fish. Yeah,
Ooh, I miss my catfish nuggets when I used to live in Dallas.
Yeah, I
They
used to
were
love them things.
those things are so good. Like
Yeah,
that make ooh,
they got
takes
to
me back.
manufacture them, and then they got that little twangy taste, and I had to leave them alone for a while.
Right. I know. When I was in Dallas, so I lived there, that they used to have a home. I can't even remember the spot that I used to go to get these catfish nuggets.
Yeah,
But I've tried to get them other places, Papados and all these other places. It's all commercialized. It's no
yeah,
offense,
yeah,
Papados, but
yeah.
it it is what it is. Now my next question is like, do you have a day or a season or a time of the year that stands out for you? Mine is now my sobriety day, which is November 20th, 2023.
Hmm.
And so, which is the
We close.
rebirth.
We close together. Mine is November 7th.
2023?
No, 2020.
Okay. Oh, look at
Yeah,
you, about to be
yeah,
5 years old. Oh, I'm still
yeah.
a
That's
baby.
right.
Do you ever see yourself going back?
No, never,
And how do you have
never,
the
ever.
confidence to and I know we have 3 DUIs, so we've said this before.
Yeah,
And it's funny. What makes you have the confidence in saying that this time is the last time?
because I know what I have to do to stay on this side. I
Mm,
know what I have to do to complete my mission with God. I have a good will and purpose to do with Him each and every day. As long as I stick with that, I'll be just fine.
I feel the same way. So that's the same day as my cousin that passed away. Passed away on my best friend's birthday in 2023, May 27th, and his birthday is November 20th. And I didn't even know at the time when I did my sobriety journey, but
Yeah,
it's like I got an angel with me every day, like looking at me like, "Come on, hey, we got this."
yeah,
Come on, cuz. So I enjoy now living and then being in a power and just being myself. So
right.
is your November 7th, 2020? Is that your day,
Yeah,
or
yeah. That's my sobriety day. Yeah,
do
November.
you have is that the special day of your that you enjoy every year now, or
No, I don't have no specialty. I just make sure if I don't go to Smith's, I go to a meeting somewhere,
I know that's right.
and, you just keep going because I know I got to keep it in my mind that if I don't go somewhere, if I don't surround myself with people, then I'm gonna end up falling.
I love it. Her now that which brings me to my next one. Do you have a book or a movie that has impacted your mindset and just made transformative, just for helping your mind? Mine is Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad Poor Dad. They didn't teach
Hmm.
financial education in schools. If I would
Hmm.
have known some of the things that I know now, like in regards to leverage, it's not about the dollars in your bank account, but in regards to relationships, not just with
Right.
money, but understanding how it works. That piece right there
I,
is
I don't
huge.
know. I don't know if you had read Mike's book. Did you?
He was trying to send it to me, and it was the delivery man and the holiday. It's
Yeah,
crazy because
that really had a good impact on me too because we can relate together, with different stuffs and different period in our lives. He's younger than me, but we can still relate.
and it's so crazy that we were just talking a minute ago about Mike and his book, and
Yeah,
he has a workbook on his website here, a work in
yeah,
progress, the practical guide to self
yeah, yeah,
transformation.
yeah, yeah.
What about the book stood out for you that you can actually, just kind of,
It's just not no particular part. It's just that I know what he went through because I know what I went through, and
hmm
for him, I really respect his ability to do that, to put it on paper. I wish I could do the same thing, and it just hit me that way. Yeah.
I can't wait to get
Matter
the
of fact,
book.
where do I got his book right over here somewhere in my little
I
library.
Yeah, but look, the delivery man didn't do me right because he was trying to get it here. Dick tried to overnight it to
Yeah,
me and
yeah.
everything, but I know it's gonna arrive right on time.
I got it over here in this with the rest of this stuff over here, but I just can't pick it out right now. But yeah, he gave me a signed copy, because I was his boy.
Mine's coming signed too.
Yeah,
When I meet him I haven't met you either, physically.
yeah.
I've been
We
virtual in this
always be on Zoom. Yeah, yeah.
until December 21st, 2025. I'm putting it in the air. That's when it's gonna
Okay,
happen.
okay.
So, 2 more questions for you. So, in regards to I'm gonna laugh because I already know what word you're gonna say. If you
Yeah.
think about your brand of what you represent, what's one word that you would actually, say that stands for Herbert Morris, like, in regards to just your one word?
One word.
Mhm.
Hmm. I don't know. I'm just a caring individual.
I thought you was gonna go with resilient.
I almost said that.
That's what I thought you was
'Cause
gonna go with resilient.
I was gonna say a resilient, caring individual. You know, I was gonna say that, but I said no, I ain't gonna do that. I'm just saying because I do care, and you don't have to be resilient to care for people. You know?
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right. But my word is resilient. And you
yeah,
kept saying it. And I was like, you see how God just aligns, but you know, resilience is something that, you have to go, you don't even know why the why. You don't even
right,
look for the why. I don't even look for it anywhere anymore. But I
hmm,
know that if I just keep God on my side, I can get
right.
through it.
You
And
will,
and so
like
were
I
you
said
about
in the Bible, all things are possible with God.
thy will be done, not
Yeah,
mine.
yeah.
That's I live by those words. So and my last question for you here, Herb, and before I'm gonna let you go, if you could tap younger Herb on the shoulder and give him some piece of advice that
Mhm.
would help him go through this life, and he's actually gonna listen. You know,
Mhm.
us kids, we ain't listen because
Yeah,
we
we did.
we got addiction, we got. But if you could actually touch little Herb or young Herb on the shoulder and give him a piece of advice after the experiences and things that you've been through, what advice would that be?
I tell her, Herb, you don't need to mess with the drinking
Mm,
and smoking that weed and doing all those crazy things. If you need money, go get you a job, work and get you some money, and do what you got to do to be the best you.
period.
Period.
I know that's right. Her, my friend, and I'm going to say this because I want you to feel these words. I truly appreciate not only you just raising your hand to do this 46 random acts of kindness with my live virtual conversations, but supporting me in my journey. Like, you
Hmm.
don't even know how much it made me feel. Hey, made me feel good. We were in group maybe about a week or so ago, and your phone was about to die. And
Yeah,
you said, "You know what?" And I didn't even tell you. I'm telling you now, but
yeah,
that that was like a moment that I needed someone just to be supportive like that for me.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
so in other words, you never know that when God is doing the work when you're on your way to your
That's
why.
right. That's
And
why I
I
said I told was it I was talking to Mike. I was doing some, yeah. I said, man, I got to go. My friend,
right,
and she's gonna call me. I don't want
right. So that made me feel so good. It made me feel what I'm doing purposeful. It made me, just I can't even put it into words. And then so, but I wanted to tell you that because I it just what you do, you never know the impact that you're making on people. So I truly appreciate you not only saying yes to me, even, with everything you're dealing with health wise and even in your own personal journey. You
right.
took a moment out of your day today and helped me celebrate my 46th birthday. And that's something I know that, and especially it's on tape. So with it being recorded, I'll never forget. You are a part of it being of my journey. So my friend, thank you for not only being doing this, but for everything you've done in regards to your story, fighting through. Because if you didn't do everything that you did, you wouldn't be here today, and you
That's
wouldn't
right.
be a part of my journey.
That's right.
So I truly appreciate you. And is there anything like final words or what have you that you wanted to kind of share with people that may not be as strong yet,
Yeah,
but just to
not
help them?
okay, not really, but I appreciate you having me. Anybody that has that, I guess you say, weak will or needs strength, they can always pray. They need to surround themselves with likewise people. Their support network. You know, I can't. You don't have to get a sponsor right now, but surround yourself with a support network. So when times come that you need somebody to talk to, somebody's there to talk to you. And some of these, they don't. They'll give you their number, but when you call, they don't want to talk. You
Right.
know, so you don't need them kind of people. You need to surround yourself with people that will have time to talk when you need to talk, and you'll be just fine.
The last question, I thought I lied to you. Therapy. Like, how important is somebody, because it has a bad connotation on it. Therapy, how important is it just communicating and that being a part of your journey and getting through what you're dealing with? And that is the last
Which
question,
type
sorry.
of therapy though? AA therapy or
Well, we
medical
know how
therapy?
you feel about AA therapy, but
Yeah, I don't
Smith,
like that.
right? The Smith counseling therapy, any kind, but even to
That's,
try these
in
different
that
therapies.
setting is fine. That's the only setting I would go for right now.
Hmm.
Because the other settings, you people lying, and I hate to downplay it, but it's true. You
Right.
get up, you go to the bathroom. When you leave, they outside smoking weed, drinking. They lying in there, and then they talking about each other. Did you hear what he said? No, that's not a good environment to try to tackle your difficulties.
Well, I'm just thankful for Dick and Smith Counseling Centers and Mike for their just being consistent in that journey for us
Yeah,
because we do have that as a solution.
yeah.
So her, my friend, thank you so much, my friend, for actually being a part of this. Do not hang up. I'm going to do our wrap up before I get up. I'm gonna take you off stage for a moment, okay?
Okay, all right.
Thank you so much.
Take care. Thank you.
Come on. Herbert Morris from Perseverance to Purpose on Detroit streets, actually from Battle Creek streets, but actually seriously just finding out from the Chi-Town, Chicago, Illinois streets. So, which means that change happens and the growth and transformation of what you want to be is trying to be the best version of yourself. I can honestly say when God put on me for these 46 random acts of kindness, these live virtual conversations, I'm talking to real people. I'm talking having real stories, real legacy, and leading up to my birthday, September 6th, 2025, proving that random acts of kindness, connection, and storytelling, it can actually change the world. So every single person that has raised their hand and has been a part of the conversation, just being authentic, showing it a piece of them that I've never known. Like I didn't know a lot of things about her today. Like 16 years, I've never heard of armed robbery without a robbery. Come on, I mean, without a. I'm just saying, there's new things that happen every single day. But in the world that we live in, well, how he persevered through it, how he was resilient and caring in all of his process. So to get the replay, I'm going to be able to put the link up here as well because I wanted to touch base on his Detroit Lions, his hookup because that was fly. I came, my Herb had on a fly outfit with the Detroit Lions. But if you want to actually see the replay, and even come back live with me on Saturday, September 6th, because I'm going to recap all of these stories as well. And that's how I want to celebrate my birthday. I don't know how long that's going to be, but guess what I'm going to do at 8 a.m. on September the 6th? Launch the AI webinar blueprint training, the billionaire brand that you can build with your story. But it starts with you just being honest, authentic, getting out of the fear. Don't let all these social media, don't even care about what anybody else thinks. Do what God has designed for you. And for me, is to help people smile, get through their actual story, have these live conversations, and we're going to maximize it with the utilization of webinars and understanding how to grow through it. So, my friends, you know how I do every live, and we're going to be back here tomorrow for a full lineup. It's going to be amazing. So, at Adrian Mays, YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn, I will, I shall be victorious. What up, though, Detroit? Ah, come on, Herb. Thank you, Herbert Morris. Thank you so much, my friend. Deuces.